It's greed, grifts, and grabs, the Trump Corruption Chronicles. Welcome to another edition. We have a potpourri of grifts and grabs this week from the cornucopia of corruption, so let's dive right in. For just $1 million or so, the billionaire owners of the only bridge currently carrying the traffic and millions in auto parts daily between Detroit and Windsor, Ontario, continues to keep his monopoly. His competition, the newly completed Gordie Howe International Bridge, remains closed thanks to Donald Trump, who refuses to allow customs processing at the U.S. end of the bridge. Now remember, the entire cost of the bridge was paid for by Canada. The deal crafted between Canada and former Michigan Governor Rick Snyder, a Republican, called for Canada to be repaid over the years through tolls. But like a true mafia boss, Donald Trump wants to wet his beak by demanding the U.S. get halvesies. Eventually that will happen, but only after the construction costs are fully paid off. A new report from the conservative economics think tank in Lansing, the Anderson Economics Group, says the delay in opening the bridge is costing the operators around $7 million a week, money that could and should be going to pay off the construction costs. But in exchange for a $1 million campaign contribution, Trump's response is, tough shit. Then there's the D.C. swamp, once known as the reflecting pool. We've all seen stories about the slimy green algae takeover of the pond. Why did it happen? Well, instead of seeking bids from qualified contractors, Trump gave an overpriced no-bid contract to his pool guy, who happens to be one of his neighbors down in Florida, the company that built some swimming pools at gold-encrusted Trump properties. The self-proclaimed genius of construction apparently didn't realize there's a big difference between a 50-meter swimming pool and a massive shallow pool, which is more than 2,000 feet long, 167 feet wide, and 18 to 30 inches deep. In other words, an ideal size for breeding algae. Rather than admit to yet another presidential fuck-up, Trump is having his retribution police in the Justice Department arrest random people on totally baseless charges of sabotage and vandalism. Because, of course, the king is never at fault when things go wrong. Good news for King Donald. He's taken delivery of his flying palace, a.k.a. the $400 million Cutter bribe, in an effort to bypass the Constitution's ban on such lavish gifts from foreign governments. Trump is using the aviation equivalent of money laundering. Officially, the plane is being given to the Air Force. Conveniently, the Air Force will then give it to Trump when his term ends in 2029 or whenever he decides he's ready to leave office, allegedly for display at his garish Miami presidential high-rise, should that in fact be built. But there are no guarantees that the plane will instead be converted to the new ride for Trump, his family, and his buddies. The plane is a bargain, he says. After all, it was a free gift from Qatar. But taxpayers are on the hook for $500 to $600 million or so, beefing up the plane's capabilities for presidential use, and then removing those same doodads in 2 years. But to Donald, it's all worth it, so he has a truly sweet ride when he commutes between the White House and his golf courses in Florida and New Jersey.
When we land at airports in London and in Germany and different places, nobody tops this one, and that's the way we have to have it for our country. Nobody even comes close.
I am the king with the flying throne, no stodgy jet for me. It's full of gold, it's all I can see. It's even golden where I pee. I love my plane, it's just the best, because I'm the king of the West.
The good news for Trump, it's got a very nice bedroom so he can nap on board rather than in cabinet meetings. On a positive note, one of Trump's favorite targets is fighting back. Disney-owned ABC, which initially caved in over the Jimmy Kimmel incident, has decided enough of this bullshit, going public with the FCC, which is trying to dictate the guest list for The View.
I had this idea for a show. Different women, different points of view.
The View has welcomed your favorite guests and covered the issues you care about for nearly 30 years. Now, the FCC wants to control who is allowed to appear on the show. Viewers, use your voice. Scan this QR code. You have until July 6th.
Our final grift of the week, Trump buddy Elon Musk. His SpaceX stock offering took off like a rocket, quickly going from its initial offering price of $135 to $217 a share. That's when the insiders who were able to buy into the initial offering started selling. The stock has plunged by almost 1/3, meaning a huge loss for the suckers who bought after the insiders had sucked up the bargain price shares. That's another week of greed, grifts, and grabs, the Trump Corruption Chronicles. Thanks for checking us out, and kindly click on the subscribe button to help build our merry band of corruption chroniclers.
Give us your cash, folks, we want it all. It's how